Hello future tech leaders, I am Sindhuja. Based on my own experience, I know that learning the right skills can shape our future. What if I say learning was as thrilled as the tech world itself? There we go. A cloud foundation, that's exactly what you will experience. From day one, you will be immersed in the interactive sessions and expert-led courses that covers most of the widely used technologies in the zone of data science to cloud computing, which brings more light to the life of a techie. I'm so excited to help you and unlock the true potential of a technology. Well, then why to wait? Let's see what it unfolds.
These are the types of predefined filters are reusable. These filters we can use for any number of reports which uses this fashion universe. Whereas if we create filters like this, these are the user-defined filters. If we give the filters like this is specific to this report only. We cannot use the same filter for other report. There we have to create again. These are non-reusable. Here it can be seen as a static filter because the California is fixed here. We cannot change it. Whenever, if we give the value, it will not ask us to give some other value. It will run the report by taking the status California. But if we give the prompt, instead of giving California, if we select a prompt here, it will ask us to enter state or enter country. Enter state. It is like a mandatory prompt and we will give based on our requirement. We can select from any of this list California, Colorado, DC. This is coming from the list of values which we have covered. From the universe layer, we created the state object and we have given some list of values along with that object. That is why it is giving us this list of values to select. If you don't pass this list of values in the universe layer, it will ask us to enter the values manually. That is the purpose of list of values. It is a dynamic filter. These are the predefined filters. As I told you, for dynamic filters, we have to select a prompt. This is the prompt option. We need these three objects to create a prompt. We should select some object. Here are state what we want to filter on and operator equal to or not equal to or in list between matches. There are many operators available and enter here. This is a prompt that we have. We can create a prompt in the query panel. I will show you how we will create. Once we give the prompt, if we run the refresh the report, we can see the query result here itself. If you run the query, it will take us to the report. If we refresh, if you just want to see once, like how it is coming, if we refresh, we'll see the query preview. It will not load all the data, but it will give us some sample data to see like how it looks. Based on that, if you forgot something or if you wanted to do something, you can do. And again, we can refresh and see if we are with this. We can run the query. Report filters is used to limit the results on a report. As we will apply some filters there, here they have applied only the ESAs 2004, 5 and 6 in the query panel. That's why we are getting this output as this data. It will limit the sorry. This is all about. Whatever we put the query filters, it comes as a document filters. We say it as a document filters. Document filter means it is for the total report. We call it as a document. Report filter is like here. If you see report 1, this is the first tab. If you compare with XN, this is the first tab. Likewise, we can have multiple tabs in the report. What report filter is? If you see here, there is a filter option here. Here also, we can create some filters to see the data that is applied for this tab only. That is called as a report filter. It is applied for this particular tab. If we add one more tab, and then this here filter will not be there on that tab because it is specific to that particular report. Combination of these report tabs is called as a Webby tab. We say it as a report, but it should be, if we need to say it clearly, it should be a document. Total report is called as a document, and each tab is a report. Report filter is used to limit the results on a report. The data you filter out remains within the interactive analysis document, though it is not displayed in the report table surcharts. From the query panel, we might have much of data. We might have data for all the years, and it is loaded in the report. But if we create a report filter on year, in this tab, there is a data from the database, but here it will not display because we applied a filter. You can change or remove report filters in order to view the required values without modifying the query definition behind the document. Hence, it gives good performance during analysis. For the analysis purpose they want to see, like compare with the 2005 and 2006 data. They can just give those two values here and they can see whatever is required. It is based on this analysis is different for each person. Maybe multiple persons are using this report, but their perspective might be different. Instead of going every time to the query panel, here it gives the flexibility to change the filters as per our requirement, and it will not change the main of our query. Because if we are just using for analysis purpose, we will do the analysis and we'll come out of the report. We might not save, or we can save as that report that the query filters will not get changed. For giving that report filter, we have to click here, Analysis Filter, Add Filter. Here it will say like if we want year-wise sales, we have to put here in this, we have to add, click on Add Filter, and we have to give the object year and give the required number of years. This is a year-wise sales and this block is a state-wise sales. These two tables are different. One is year-wise sales and one is state-wise sales. We can rename the tables with these names and we can apply the filters accordingly. Here also, the filter on one block is independent of the filter on the other block. Based on our requirement, we can create the filter. It's about the filters available in Web Intelligence. Create a new doc using a fashion universe showing sales revenue by state and store name. Can you please tell me like what are all the objects we require for this report? Where it is saying showing sales revenue by state and store name. Means what objects we need to pull in the result to objects. Come on, you say we need. What are all the objects that we require for our report based on this line? Create a new doc using a fashion universe showing sales revenue by state and store name. What do you think we need to add here in the report level? First, we have to go to Create Web Intelligence. We have to select. Click on this to create a new report. We have to select the universe which we want. In the list of universes, we will use this fashion. And here first we will create a report with the sales revenue by state and store name. Sales revenue is a measure. It will be there in the Measures tab. Sales revenue. We want that sales revenue by. First I'll read out the points and I'll do that. You will understand. First, we will create a document using eFashion Universe showing sales revenue by state and store name. State is a dimension. It is there in the store class. We will select here. We can double click or we can just click on this and we can click this arrow. State and store name. Scope of analysis panel. It automatically came off because it's a hierarchy. Run day. We took these three objects and we are running the query. Here it is showing sales revenue as first because we took the sales revenue first, but it is always. We will put it in the side. State, store name and sales revenue. We just created a sample report. We will now edit. It is now this report. If we want to see this completely, you can double click. If you see this symbol, whenever you put your mouse over it, if you see this symbol, then you can double click to see the entire thing. It will expand based on the text. Now what we did is we have created a report, basic report, but we did not keep any filters in the query panel. What we do is we will quantity sold by. Now what we do is we took the key figure as the measure as sales revenue. Now we wanted to edit this report and we wanted to keep the report as for quantity sold instead of sales revenue. But here there is no quantity sold, but we want the report to have quantity instead of sales revenue. What we can do is we have to go to the query panel to do that. For that purpose, we have to click on this data access edit. And here we selected sales revenue, but now we wanted to show quantity sold. We can double click this quantity sold and we can run the query. We wanted to add quantity sold along with sales revenue. For that purpose, we have clicked on data access edit and we have added quantity sold. But by default, only for the first time it will appear in the report. When we go for the second time and all, when we go to edit and we have added the object, it will not automatically appear in the report. We have to manually insert that. To do that insert, we will click on this and we will, with the mouse, we will drag it and we should not drop it anywhere like this. We should drop when we can see this symbol. Then it will be attached with this report. Here we have created a basic report. Quantity sold by year and quarter. What we have selected is state, store name, sales, revenue, quantity sold. I told you like this Web Intelligence, it will automatically generate SQL in the backend. If you want to see the code for this report, the SQL code which we need to create, if you are running the query from the database, we have to write SQL code. But here, with the use of Universe, that complexity has gone now. If you want to see the backend SQL, that can be visible in the query panel. We go to Query Data Access Edit and this is the query panel. Here, if you want to, this is a view script. If you click on this, the backend SQL will be visible. It's loaded. taking a long time. It will not take that much time. Today's comes over issue. There we will be seeing some select statement, select state, store name, but those objects will not be directly like state. It will be with a database table and the object name. The code will be different. Same set is in longer time. I'll show this later because it is taking time today. Even I'm not able to stop that process. Play it once again. This is the first report that we wanted to create. We have taken these 4 objects and now we will save this report as activity create document. If you see it here, the name appeared like activity create document. This is the first report that we have created. Now let's try to use the filters now. We will try to create a new report with the sales revenue by state and store name. Here now we will use the query filter option. If you see here, this is the query filter window. Sometimes you might be seeing only this, then you don't be confused. Like I'm not able to see some other windows here. It will be there like show or hide filter panel. If you want that query filter panel, if you click on that, it will automatically comes up. And we can put like this query filter. Now what we will do is we will apply filter on store name. Where is the store? Here we click on this. If we double click, it will automatically go into the result object. If you want to add it in the query filter we have to use, just click on this and you have to use this mouse. I mean this arrow. Store name, and what we will put is a fashion dollar store name. We will see what are all the list values from this list. a fashion dollars. We will select this. It is like a static filter. Here, instead of in list, we can see these are the operators that are available. Equal to, not equal to in list, not in list between, not between greater and greater than or equal to. We can apply any filter kind of using a based on our requirement. We can apply any filter here. We will put equal to a fashion dollars and we will run the query. We will see like what is the sales revenue for this particular store name. For a fashion dollars, it has around this much value of sales revenue. Now, if you want to see the sales revenue of other New York or some other like place, if you want to put two values, New York Manganella and New York Sundance, then what we can do is, again, if you want to do something in the query panel, we have to click on Data Access, Edit and go here. Instead of a fashion, it is equal to means. It will only take one value. If we want multiple values, we have to put in list. In list, and we will select some values from the New York placee, New York Magnanella and New York Sundance. Where is the New York we can select? Search here. One is the New York. If you see here, a fashion dollars is already selected. We can click on this and we can click this arrow that it will go up. If you want to take a fashion Los Angeles, we have put two values. We wanted to have multiple values for this filter. We have to use the seamless operator. And we will run the query. If you see these, for these two values, we are able to see the sales level. Now, we have used the query filters in this report. We can save as this report, but we have used static filters. We did not use any prompt here to allow the user to give the values based on his requirement. We did not put that. We will save this report under the Under My folder. We will save the report as Activity Filters 1. If you see Under My folder. Now these two reports. We have created activity, create document activity filters 1. These are under my documents. If you get the access, if you want to see the reports, you will not be able to see these reports because these are under my documents. But you can see these reports under public folders. You can view the reports which are there in this. My documents is like our personal reports. If you create something that you can save in your personal reports for your reference. But in our project, whatever we do, if everything is perfect, if the testing done and if everything is going well, then we will put the reports in our public folders to be accessible by the business. Now we have created two reports. Now we will create one more report instead of giving us static values. We will keep the prompt that end user, whenever he refreshes, he can change the values based on his requirement. Here we will put state store name, year and the measure is quantity. we want. We will put the filter on state. But instead of giving some values here, what we can do is, if you click on this, it can be a context constant value that we can enter, or it can be values from list to select, or it can be a prompt. Prompt means it will. Whenever the user refreshes this report, it will ask to give some value for the state. One time he can give Canada, one time he can give Los Angeles something else. He can give any state that he wanted that time. It will ask the user to give the values for the state. If you see, this is the object in list is an operator enter values for a state. It is a text which will ask the user. Now we will run the query. Then you will understand how we are not giving any value here. It will not ask in the query panel, but when we run the query, it will ask to give values for the state. Then only it refreshes the report. I don't know. Maybe it's taking time because it has more data on the server. It's not very fast because it is just a training server. Maybe it's not up to them. We will not put the store name this time because maybe because of huge data, it is not allowing us. It will take time because based on the data, it might take some time, but we don't have that much time to wait here. That's why what I do is I not put store name, I'll just put state. It is just for our learning purpose. If you know one concept that is applicable for all other names, what we do is we will keep the year here also in the query filter. Here we will put as a prompt. We'll try to run the query. It will ask the end user to give the values. It's taking a lot of time. Server is not responding properly. But the main what we say, the functionality will be like whenever we run the report, it will ask to give the value. Then we can give the value and run the report. That is about the prompt here. This is the picture for the multiple prompt. Generally, it will work, but maybe the server is busy now or it's not getting the response. That's the reason it is taking time. But in our real-time project and real-time servers, it will not be like this. Try to understand the concept here. If you want to report multiple prompts here, city, state, it can be and or. If you want to have a report with the year equal to 2018 and the city and state, something like state Colorado and like that. If you want to put like that, we can give and or. If you want both conditions to be satisfied, we can put and. If you want any one of the condition to be satisfied, we can put or it is based on the requirement of the business. We can create a filters here. We will see other ways. We will see. For already created report, we will see how to add a report level filter. If you see here, as we already given the state, California, New York, maybe if you want to see only for the store name, Los Angeles, what we can do is I opened already created the report, activity filters. It already has a query filter with the state. I think we put the filter for store name eFashion Los Angeles and then we can eFashion New York. And if you want to, that is a document level filter or query filter. If you want to put filter inside this report, if you want to see only California data, what we can do is click on analysis filter. Here you can see this filter, add filter. If you click on add filter, it will ask us to for which block or which tab you want to add. I click on add filter. This window will appear because here there are two tables are there. One is the year-wise sales and one is state-wise sales. They have named it like that. It will ask us for which table we want, which block we want to put the filter. We can keep the filter for all the tabs or we can keep individual different filters for each tab also. That option is possible. We can select here state-wise sales. Select the block on which you want to apply report filter and then click on add filter. It will, as we have selected state-wise sales and we are clicking add filter and state will come up here and we will get the values from this list of values. And once we have defined it, we will click to finish. Then state-wise filter, like here only California and Colorado are selected for this block. Once we click on, we will see the data for only California and Colorado, like first two rows of data. All other will not be shown. That is the purpose of report filter. Today we have covered report filter and query filters. And finally, do not forget to like, share and subscribe to our channel.